Two.
Yeah, welcome back.
We're gonna do the simultaneous sigh to get back into it. We had to take a deep or a quick break to check in and make sure we weren't disturbing anyone else and get some snacks, and we'll jump back into where we left off. So here we go. As is convention around here, we're gonna do the simultaneous sigh. All you have to do is to take a deep breath in, let it out with a sigh in simultaneity with me. Starting in three, two, one. Oh, yeah. You're welcome. There you go. All right. That was good. Could you feel that? Now he's starting to get it.
No, you texted me earlier, like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm feeling pretty gangster right now. You didn't know it was gonna be dropping in with that big sigh and just like relaxing all of that. Feeling energy.
So, there's a funny story about the simultaneous sigh. So, I started the simultaneous sigh as a bit adapted from Scott Adams. He did a simultaneous sip on his Real Coffee with Scott Adams podcast. And I wanted to find a way that's even more accessible. I didn't always have a beverage. Part of it you have to take a sip of something. And then I knew that in in uh, in meditation, the breath work is a really important component. So I thought, like, what's one breath that you could take together? And we had like this joke in my family that we used to do, like, let's have a group moan, and then we'd all like huddle together and we'd go like, oh, and it was like this joke that was like just so spontaneous and fun and creative, and just like it turned into like this thing in my family where it was just so good. But I thought the internet wouldn't really get simultaneous moan, so I just made it like a simultaneous sigh, a release, a sigh.
Mm.
Then Scott Adams is famous for like his predictions, for being a hypnotist, but he made these predictions, and a lot of his predictions came true. And I decided to try my hand at a Scott Adams style prediction. My prediction was that scientific research would come out to prove that that the simultaneous sigh is like the best thing for you.
All
That
right.
it like
Mm.
is like the health hack, cures can't, like all these ridiculous claims,
Yeah,
right?
amazing.
A few weeks later, I'm listening to a brand new Andrew Huberman podcast
Okay.
where he talks about finally releasing research after doing a study
Yeah.
that he's been conducting for a long time about breathing modalities. There's square breathing, there's all kinds of things. He said that this way of breathing um, is super, super good for you. And it was called cyclical sighing. So after I made this half joking, it's on the channel. You can go back and look for it. I forget what video it is,
Andrew
but it's on
Huberman's
there.
cyclical
My
sign.
channel, me making the
On.
prediction. I did it live on a live stream, a mindful before meeting live stream, a meditation live stream. I made the prediction live in like a whimsical, joking way. And then Andrew Huberman released this idea of cyclical sighing like a couple weeks later. And he said that if you like literally doing that cyclical sighing is really good for you.
Hmm.
Um, as a deliberate breathing exercise, it's one of the best ones. All kinds of health benefits and stuff like that. That's the funny story about the cyclical sighing. But this isn't about the simultaneous sigh. This is about ecstatic dance.
We were talking about ecstatic dance earlier, yeah.
So we did a stream from the same venue, and we were discussing about our ecstatic dance practice that we participated in, and
I think the 6th of February,
yeah,
2026.
right,
A couple weeks
and
ago.
one so in the beginning, you start out stretching. You're there. It's meditative, and you all kind of your energy kind of crescendos together, right? And
Yeah, it starts slow and builds
you
up and
you
peaks.
start meditative, you come into present moment awareness, you add some movements. This woman was incredible. She had a mic. She
Oh
was
yeah.
really fun. It turned into just a yoga session, and she was really fun and
Mm.
awesome. And so you start to just get into your body, do some movements, um, and then that just transitioned into singing and music seamlessly. And then we were in circles,
That's right.
and then we did a group dance thing where people were pairing off. Now, I knew that I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
take off my like sweater and my pants to be in shorts because I would once I got warmed up,
Yeah, do
I knew
warm
it would
up.
be hot. So I actually leave during this thing, but she got everyone to kind of engage with each other, find a pair, move around the room, pair off with someone. And that's like a crucial moment where you start to engage and the energy starts to build a little bit. But I ran off by myself to go put my clothes down, right? And when I came back, and then she had the pair off, and then you were doing that, following each other's hands and like not touching, like
Oh,
feeling
that's
each other.
right. Yeah, you came
And
back
then
and
the
then pair
next
out.
thing was turn around so you're back to back. So I came down from putting my clothes away. Everyone was already in pairs, and the next activity they were doing to each other was going back to back to like dance. And so I am walking up to the few other people that aren't already paired off, being like, "Oh, you wanna back to back? Oh, you want?" So like, it was just like this funny thing. I missed like the pairing off and the crescendo and stuff. So it was a little bit of a hiccup for me. But then,
I didn't have a partner at the time, and I was wondering, where's Mike, man? Oh man, I would love him to be right here.
so then I see him. I go and find him, and he doesn't have anyone. Uh, you were like off to the side,
Yeah.
and then I like we went like did the back to back thing, and then like I think I like lifted you onto my
Mm-hmm.
back, basically like pulled you up,
Yeah,
and
nice,
or maybe you did
nice.
it to me first, but we did it. It was just fun, you know. It was like a bro squat up moment, and then
Let's stretch.
we went into circles where we were. Then there would be four, and then two four circles. All the four circles had to join, and then there were these big circles, and we were
Mm.
holding hands, and we were just dancing, and that's like how she broke the ice to get everyone activated to
Mm-hmm.
dance. And somehow at that point it just seamlessly transitioned into like a DJ, like instrumental. What kind of music would you call that?
Um, I can't even remember. I think that it had some instruments. Like it sounded almost like a Middle Eastern vibe to it.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, there's some of that.
So,
It's not like house music, but it's
yeah,
not like folk music, you know? Like it was like club, it was like pop, good dance music.
like world dance music.
Yeah. Really thoughtfully done. And we all kind of like follow the flow of the energy. Now, I'm really proud of how I showed up that night. I showed up like as my full self. Was managing my energy really well. At some points, I was like jumping around, weaving in and out of people, like high energy, just like the uh, the the freaking height of my like
Yeah.
just exuding confidence and glory and just like dominating the space with my physicality, moving around and just confident and like and all this, and then I would like other times I was like, oh man, like okay, I gotta like dial it back, and like I gotta like go off to the side, drink water, and like, and that was all okay. Like wherever I was at was great. You know, looking for people to dance with. I think I ended up dancing ultimately with everyone that I wanted to,
Hmm.
and having some really great dance connections. Also, I'm really proud of this.
Hmm.
If I approach someone, don't if I approached someone to dance with them and they weren't enthusiastic about dancing with me, like nightclub dancing and stuff like that, it's kind of like, I really want her to like, I'm gonna like try to like persuade her to dance with me, or like the rejection hurts or something. If I went up to someone and tried to, and they weren't like excited that I was trying to dance with them, I was like, okay, like,
Backpedal.
yeah, next, like, loser. Like, you know, I was just like, oof, sucks to suck.
They didn't
But
accept my
in a
bid.
non-judgmental way, of course.
Yeah,
You know, it was just like, you know,
it's
do
not
you want to
happening. It's
engage?
not
Oh,
happening.
you're not excited about it? All right. I'm gonna go follow the energy.
Bounce.
I'm about the energy, like,
Yeah.
and then made multiple, you know, passes by people and stuff, and some of those people I ended up reconnecting with. That's what I was talking about, the energy levels. Could have been that we weren't matched up with the energy levels, and maybe once their energy level came up to where I was, my natural resonance frequency or whatever, then it worked. But had some really great, in sync, harmonious, fun, really, like, people are really inviting me in, receptive, enthusiastic, awesome dance moments in there. Um,
That's what's up.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
It was great. I think it was one of the top 10 best experiences of all time in my life.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, man. Ah,
yeah, man.
I'll shoot you to the encore, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely need more ecstatic dance in my life. But
So, and you were telling me a lot about this Vernanke, Vervanke,
Vervecki, yeah,
Vervecki, and his
Ver,
ecology of practices, and how you see ecstatic dance as being like kind of a modal community vehicle for this, for an embodiment practice, and with all these other body of practice.
yeah. So embodiment practice is one, you know, mode of practices. I, you know, my ruck is an embodiment practice, and it's geared towards fraternitas and communitas. You, it's a march with a heavy backpack. You show up, you walk with a backpack. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. But under when you kind of dissect the experiential like layers of that whole thing, like it's individuals showing up by choice. They get to choose how strenuous the experience is for them. They get to weight themselves down. So it's challenge by choice, which then becomes a whole ethos,
Yeah, that,
right? And then when individuals come together, go and go through a challenge together that helps strip away that superficial facade that people carry, that they put up, that gets in between them, and it just removes some of the friction points for bonding more deeply. There's something real, engaging, um, activating about it, and it's a good way to build fraternitas and communitas. I think I might have gotten those from Verviki. It's just brotherhood and community in an ideal sense. Um, and then there's the convivium, which is more of an intellectual practice, but it's usually after the ruck on Sundays. So you've already kind of exhausted your body. Now you can retreat into this place where you're refueling, you're having dinner, but you've read the reading, so you're in intellectual harmony, and then you can sit back and you can talk and discuss, but your body's already like hit that crescendo and activated, and you're in recovery in your body, and the stillness, you can retreat back into the mind and the intellect and have that intellectual engagement, and really ultimately intellectual bonding with people, a deep, profound, robust intellectual bond is like a big part of the main thing for me. But adding these embodiment components actually does help you get there in a really profound way. And it's all different aspects and it's all part of it, right? So if I was holding like a university of my ecology practices, ecstatic dance would be part of it, whatever, wildlife adventures. And we're hoping to explore the idea of the modality of parkour, the modality of whatever practices they have at evolve, move, play, and bringing in like Vervecchi's work is basically sufficiently compelling that that's part of the reason why I've done. You ever get to something that's so compelling that it's like, well, I don't need to continue to hear about this. I just need to start doing it. That's kind of where I got to. And so I've made the ruck and the convivium a weekly part of my practices. The convivium is a great works of the Western world discussion group where we're reading through the Western canon of literature, the Adler list, Mortimer J. Adler. And
get your e-reader, download books, you can read them on the go.
And anyway, so ecstatic dance, really good embodiment practice. Great way to have fun, great way to meet people. Highly recommend you give it a try. Go to a static dance near you. It's a great time. Go to Static Dance Boston. That's phenomenal. But yeah.
It's also a website you could search. Just Google or use your search engine to find ecstatic dance near you. They have a website. It's international movement in movement.
Yeah.
And sound and embodiment and community.
Yeah. So these types of, what kind of relating a bunch of different things together, spontaneous play, generative, creative play, but also practices. Now, isn't there something kind of contradictory about that, right? One's sort of formulaic, deliberate. The other one is just a natural thing that everyone has access to as a child.
Yes, but there's good reason for that. Because as children, when we play, we automatically access that more creative part of ourselves that is automatically genius. And when we can get into a flow state doing something that we enjoy doing, then we don't have to run through this like crazy brain list of like, oh, I do this and then I gotta do this and then I gotta do this and then I got, it's just
doing mode versus being mode.
Versus being.
Totally.
And kids don't need, we talk about getting into playfulness and getting activated. Kids automatically get activated. That's why they want to go and play and hang out with their friends.
Right. Do you know what's funny? The day after ecstatic dance, I went and I did a game weekend basically with my sister and my niece and my nephew. They're 5 and 7 years old. And I brought Nerf guns and my whole family was there except for my dad, right? My brother and sister, their, wife and husband, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my mom and I. My dad was not there, unfortunately. Broke out in a big family battle royale. So I brought all these Nerf guns, got everyone on board. My niece and nephew were down in the basement. We left two Nerf guns for them at the top of the stairs so they would see them on their way up, and then we would ambush them basically when they came up. And then it just all spontaneously broke out into just like this big battle. So that weekend was absolutely incredible for me with all that stuff. And then that was Saturday, and then we played some board games. We had really good conversations, great food, all this wholesome family, meaningful stuff, right? And then Sunday, I had my sauna build with my sauna build team, then my ruck, and then the convivium. And the convivium was at a new venue, super fancy, great food, nice ambiance, incredible. And we're really starting to get into St. Augustine's City of God.
It's a great book, great concepts.
St. Augustine, Vervaeke references as inspiration for, or references when he talks about stealing the culture back from you know, the institutions that have been abusing us for too long. When he talks about stealing the culture back, he wants to do what Augustine did during the decline of the Roman Empire. And now I'm reading that text and I'm like really understanding what he's talking about. So there's a lot of really incredible stuff happening that all lined up for just one of the best weekends that I've had in a really long time. So thanks for being a part of making it awesome, because you invited me to the ecstatic dance. Yeah.
I want to keep the community in free range movement, play and having fun, having a good time, taking care of your health, and enjoying who you are. Living your dream. Like what is your dream? What is that calling inside of you? What is your inner genuine curiosity moving you toward? There's something so rich about experiencing life with a question. Is there more? What else is there? And what does it mean in the greater context? And just exploring and being one with life in that way, I feel like it's so deeply enriching. So yeah, man, this is why in the slow months we gotta create our own things. And I know you got the convivium and the ruck going on, and
so I found consistency was huge. And I set the bar of success all the way low, where my own consistent participation was going to make it a victory. So I basically said, all I'm going to do is show up at 1:15 every Sunday, invite other people to join me, and then I'm going to go ruck. And that's success. It's something that I want to do every week, whether people show up or not. So it was going to be a success, even if I was doing it alone. But I wasn't alone. Every week, some of the most incredible people I've met in my whole life converge. I put up the bat signal for this event, and they come to me. They come to me, and they join me to freaking march with heavy backpacks like weirdos. And it's incredible.
We don't need a gym membership. We'll just answer this crazy invitation.
Right.
And do you charge anything for this group of yours?
There is a recommended $5 donation for the regular ruck, and then for challenge patch rucks, it's $20. The patch is included. You usually get some kind of freebie, something awesome, some kind of experience, or you receive, food or like something, some item or whatever. And you get the patch. If you earn it, you receive the patch, and it's like more curated. There's more content. There's more substance to the ruck. There's usually stages, evolutions, things that you participate in, games, activities baked in. So it's a bigger, better ruck, the challenge patch rucks.
Okay.
But they're not for the weak, not for the weak-willed, not for you know, the soft, corrupted, you know,
Not for those couch
lazy
potatoes.
spirit.
You gotta want to move. Gotta want to
But
be.
everyone can also do it. Everyone can do it. I've had 3-year-olds, I've had cardiac rehab patients, I've had very old people, I've had very unfit people. Um, if you can walk, you can ruck. You can wear an empty backpack. So that's what's beautiful about it. I can put 75 pounds on my back, and some old geezer is with me. We can be at the same level of struggle. You know what I mean? And they're just walking. Um, but that's a cool thing. It's like you get to handicap yourself. You get to, you know, make it as challenging as you want to. And sometimes I'm not feeling it. Sometimes I choose the easier path. The idea is to show up consistently and you build community with these people. And then that's how the sauna build happened.
Oh.
Yeah, at the Ruck, we were just talking about building a sauna, and then these guys were like, let's do it. Now we're building a sauna. And that's
Like
going to
that.
become a whole new resource, a whole new hub of community engagement, of a practice, embodiment practice, a health practice.
Right. Yeah. I'm talking about helping to offset this global phenomena of people going off course from living in balance.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get back to balance? How do we get back to claiming our strength, our sovereignty, our power?
And then I invited you on my channel. My channel has been a little bit neglected, but it is part of that whole thing that I'm trying to do. I have a few meditation videos that I'm editing where I'm in the Dominican Republic in a yoga temple. My guided meditation form has improved a lot, and look forward to those videos. Thanks for coming on. Mindful Before Meeting. I'm sure we'll do more of these. And this is the Predialogos series, and we'll continue to iterate and improve, and look forward to it.
Just to kind of summarize, you want to go over
Anything.
Vervanke's kind of body practices and his ecology practices and the global, like what is it moving toward?
Yeah, so there's the Stoa. There is a kind of a cyber community. I like kind of it's about cultural innovation. It's about reclaiming the culture, stealing it back from uh, those who've kind of deceived us into an ossification or oriented us towards playing struggling zero-sum games. Culture is one of the most powerful positive sum games we can play. Every time we have the option to play a positive sum game instead of a zero-sum game, we should play the positive sum game. And our culture, we're experiencing a lot of technological uh, advancements, which usually beget huge cultural shifts. And the cultural shifts haven't occurred yet, and they lag. We have the technology to share video and audio to anyone who's watching across the whole world, and that's like a Gutenberg revolution times 10. And the
Gutenberg was the printing press in the 1500s.
And the
books.
And the Gutenberg revolution unveiled a psychotechnology that transformed humanity.
The transmission of knowledge more rapidly.
And across time, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
because it's recorded. It can be handed down from one person 100 years later. Could read that same book.
Right. And now we have audio and video, and it's time for cultural innovation. to take what's good and true and wholesome and meaningful, to go back into the past, to understand where we fit in the human story of Western civilization, and bring back uh, what is, you know, the best stuff from that, and let what's no longer serving us die off, and refresh and come up with some new practices. It's kind of the Christians didn't have to fight against Rome head to head. They built something so beautiful and compelling that when Rome fell, the cathedrals were just there on that shining, glittering hilltop, right? They built something so, they built something new, so beautiful and compelling that it was just what was left when Rome crumbled. And we can do that now. We can focus on building the cathedral. You don't have to tear anything down. You don't have to fight against anyone. You can just do the cultural innovation. And that's my vision. And we're going to have a lot more of that on here soon. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thank you to your members watching this. And if you're not a member, subscribe now and share this with your friends. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you for having me on, Michael.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.